Alright, yo, it's your boy Professor Miles, man. Miles Goodlow, you know me. Coming back at you again. Today's gonna be a little different video from usual. I'm always talking to you all, I'm always giving you all some knowledge, really talking about college and college success. But you know my philosophy, the best way to kind of conquer college is basically to conquer yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Self-education is greater than higher education. So I'm kind of on like this little journey right now to find as many different people that I think have a really good self-education story. Technically, everyone has a really good story. I just unfortunately don't know everyone. So I'm going to introduce you all to who I know are making a difference and an impact in the world today. And I know that college played a role in their life some way, somehow. So today we have a UCLA graduate in front of you. I also went to UCLA, so you'll see this bias throughout the entire video probably. You know, maybe we'll spare you, you'll see. I mean, I know who you are, Demario, yes. But I don't think anybody else might know. Some people might, actually. I think we have a few people who overlap in our circles. So you can just tell the people who you are.
Absolutely.
And, you know, what are you doing now?
Sure. Well, my name is Demario McGhee. I currently work with Leaders Up as a program coordinator. And what I do essentially is I bring jobs to young adults, 18 to 24. That's essentially what I do in a nutshell, is I want to solve that youth unemployment problem, and I use Leaders Up as a vehicle in order to do so, to help people that look like myself and also Professor Miles.
Hey, I like that a lot. So that's pretty awesome, and I think what's important about the youth that you work with, so you said 18-24, helping them get jobs.
Yeah.
So I assume they don't have jobs now. Like, what are they doing? Are they in higher education? Like, what are these? What's important about these 18 to 24-year-old youth?
Absolutely. Well, what's important about these particular 18 to 24 youth is they are the talent of America, the true talent of America, and they have not been given their due when it comes to opportunities. So, in my opinion, what's important is being able to provide opportunities for people that have been disenfranchised and who have not been able or privy to the opportunities that a lot of other people have been a part of. So, the young adults that I particularly serve are what you would call opportunity youth. And typically, opportunity youth are young adults, 18 and 24, that are out of work and out of school. And so I try to alleviate at least one of those discrepancies, which will help them get employed and eventually help them be on the track to being in higher education as well.
Wow, I think that's amazing, and I like the fact that employment is at the forefront of that.
Yeah.
You know, I love Leaders Up. You know what I'm saying? So I work with them too. I think this is a great mission.
Yeah.
You know, Demario and I have been able to actually collaborate in many different ways. So like when he was in high school, I worked for a mentoring program that he was actually a part of, and literally we're almost basically the same age. So,
yeah.
But you know, in high school, 1 year makes a freaking difference.
It does.
Somehow.
It does. Yeah.
I know it's true, but when you get older, right, 14 to 15 doesn't hit you like 24 to 25.
Mm-hmm.
It just really doesn't. Let alone 34 to 35. Like, we just keep going. And he kept going on from, what high school did you go to?
I graduated from Dorsey High School.
It's so unfortunate, right? Because, you know, as a Crenshaw grad, I know there's better, but he luckily moved on and upgraded their rival high school. So for everybody who doesn't know, who's not from LA, in Crenshaw, in South LA, in South Central, there's no bigger heated rivalry in high school sports than Dorsey versus Crenshaw.
Yeah.
If you ever seen Love and Basketball, you remember that?
Yeah. And I think Dorsey beat. Anyway, that's
you know, it's really about keeping it positive here today. So,
go Dogs.
So, as the Cougars continue to push forward,
the Dons are healthier, as you can see.
That you know, as blue and gold is royally, you know.
What color is money, by the way?
You know,
okay.
Oh, blue and gold makes money. So is it more important to know what makes money or just have money?
You be the judge.
So, I love that. And so, luckily we ended up going to the same school eventually, UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know because in self-education being good in higher education, right? So I'm on this mission to help people understand who they are and their purpose in life. And I think that you can actually implement some of the things that you want to do in your life in college before you actually get to real life.
Absolutely.
Now, you, in my opinion, I think have mastered a lot of college and mastered a lot of real life.
Thank you.
So what's one thing from college that you learned that actually helps you in real life?
Absolutely, man. That's a great question, and I want to preface this by saying that college doesn't necessarily dictate your trajectory in life. And I think that it's really important for y'all, a lot of people, particularly people that come from the area that I grew up in. Like I live in.
Where are you from?
I grew up in the jungles.
The jungles? Like
Yes.
Tarzan?
Bruh, nah.
Like what are you talking about?
So there's a
What
place
is the
in
jungles?
Los Angeles, a very socioeconomically deprived area in LA. They refer to it as the jungles. If you watch the movie Training Day, they make
Training Day with Denzel.
Yes.
Yes. Hey,
Good movie, by the way.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
I wish I could master the laugh, but yeah.
You bold-faced, two-faced.
but I see why y'all follow this brother, man. Not only he drops a lot of knowledge, but he gives it to you guys in a way that's digestible and that's relatable. That's one of the reasons why I connect with this brother is because he is passionate about what he does, and he also you sense and you can feel the ingenuity and the raw care that he has for people, especially when it comes to this topic. But referencing back to the question, so I grew up in an area in Los Angeles that was very, 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 that lacked a lot of resources. I didn't grow up in Westwood or Beverly Hills or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, I didn't come from a place that was like a third world country or anything like that. Like there's always somebody who has a worse story. But I did grow up in a location that you kind of had to fight for what you wanted, which helped me on my path to UCLA. Now, referencing the question, what did I learn at UCLA that helped me with life today, 2017. One of the things that I learned at UCLA is that no one's going to help actualize your dreams without you first taking that initial initiative. When I say that, I had a lot of ambitions and a lot of dreams and a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish. I saw a lot of the discrepancies and inequalities, particularly in Los Angeles, and I wanted to make a change. But I realized, it took me a little while to realize that not everybody is going to make that leap with you until you begin to make the first steps. And it's all about, as one of my favorite football players says, it's all about, I'm about that action. And I had to learn to be about that action when I was in college because
Beast mode.
Exactly.
I got on the Beast mode shirt right now.
Exactly.
Marshawn Lynch.
Exactly.
Shout out to Oakland, California.
Shout out to the brother, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the brother. Where all my real Africans at? That's my brother right there. But I learned that, exactly. I learned that it's important to be a beast in everything that you do, whether it's serving the community, whether it's focusing on your academics, whether it's managing your money, whether it's building relationships or being with a loved one. It's important to really give it your all. And that's something that I learned in college that I applied later in life after I graduated and still to this day.
So how did you apply being a beast? Because I think we hear that phrase a lot, like, yo, be a beast, you're a beast. And we think all the time, like, oh, okay, like I can just go out and do this. Like I can just go be a beast.
Yeah.
But I think there's steps to being a beast.
Oh yeah.
And I think, you know what, I think there's a lot of steps. So if you could simplify the steps and maybe give us your most important step, in becoming a beast, and how you learned that in college, and then how that translated to how you're still doing that today.
Absolutely. That's a great question. And the way that you begin to develop that inner beast, the first step is to know what your strengths are. I think it's
So
really...
what's one of your strengths?
Oh One of my strengths is time management. I love.
How did you learn that in college?
That's a great question. So in college, I took a very traditional yet untraditional route. I started out as a freshman, straight from high school. But I had some problems when I was in college. You know, it wasn't all peachy perfect. Although I'm considered a pretty smart guy, I struggled my first year, and even my second, and part of my third year, which led to academic probation and eventually leaving school, leaving all of my friends, and people wondering, where's Demario? So eventually, I had to learn how to manage my time, realize what was important, what was priority, and what was not as important. And I had to really just create different quadrants in my life.
So when you were in school, what's an example of something that had to be priority?
Absolutely.
That wasn't a priority before.
Studying. I was about the turn up when I was in school and about really enjoying what life had to offer.
Really?
Yes.
And so you thought what was most important to enjoy in life was not studying.
Yes.
So if you learned how to make studying a priority in college, is studying a priority in real life?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's quintessential.
You're studying for higher education. So let me ask you this: how do you study for self-education?
And that's really that's a phenomenal question. This is going back to my original point when it comes to understanding that inner beast. The first thing you have to identify is what your strengths are. The reason why I say this is because when you know what you're good at, that boosts your confidence. And the more your confidence increases, the more willing you are to approach new challenges. And so when it comes to studying, when it comes to being diligent about learning something new and mastering that, it all begins with knowing what your strengths are to build up your confidence, to even take that leap to learn something new. Now, going back to studying for life. Studying for life is one of the most important things that I learned when I was in college, because I felt that I wasn't learning things I needed to learn when I was in college. Felt that I wasn't learning things I needed to learn when I was in high school. Truth be told, I felt that I wasn't even learning things I was supposed to learn when I was in middle school, elementary, and even in kindergarten.
Wow.
And I had to learn that it's incumbent upon myself to learn the things that I feel is important. Now, of course, 18, 19 years old, you think you know everything. But I wanted to take a different approach and really become a sponge and absorb the things that I felt was necessary for thriving in this world and also in this economy. And so when it came to studying for life, I realized that I had to find people who's already been through life, meaning that I had to find mentors and people that I aspire to be like in order to really know what to study. Because it's one thing if you don't know something and you don't know that you don't know something, but it's another thing if you don't know something but you know that something exists, like being financially literate, like understanding how to be disciplined and how to effectively manage your time.
Is financial literacy something that you're studying now?
Yeah.
Because I assume you were studying some subject in college, multiple. What was your major?
So my major was African American Studies and I had a minor in film and television.
Okay, so you're studying African American Studies in school with a concentration on film and television. You don't necessarily work in that environment right now, at least for your main job at Leaders Up.
Yeah.
What you described is we're really teaching young adults how to get jobs,
Right.
Which I can see how that can kind of streamline into a financial literacy conversation.
Yeah.
And so if there's one thing that I know about you is that you're constantly on like different apps that relate to money producing activities.
Absolutely.
There's a guy named Thelonious C. Jones. He's a real estate agent in Atlanta. So he has this concept of saving versus stacking. Right. And then from what I know, and you can look him up on YouTube, Thelonious C. Jones, Thelonious spelled like just like Thelonious Monk.
One of my favorite pianists, by the way.
Great pianist, right? But you know, look at that concept of saving versus stacking. Like saving says, I'm just doing this because I'm supposed to do it.
Right.
Stacking It's saying I have a goal and that's why I'm doing it. And I think that's a mindset that we have to have so often at times about school. I'm going to school because this is what somebody told me to do versus I'm going to school because I have a specific goal.
Right.
And when it comes to self-education, I've realized